I've been on a roll inadvertently predicting references this season, like referencing Inception in my Castle Sweet Castle review right before Bloom and Gloom comes out. And now with Solid Snake's cardboard box in my Tanks for the Memory review, or the Game of Thrones reference in my review of the premiere, and my reference to an epic troll in my Appaloosa's Most Wanted video. Because if there's anyone in this fandom who still doesn't think Celestia is an epic troll, well then you're wrong.
Can you imagine how dull it would have been if I hadn't invited Discord?
Here we have another quite literal best night ever scenario, but with none of the build-up or context.
This is gonna be the best night ever!
And we don't get to see any of it. And is Rarity being a total bitch?
I wouldn't miss this for all the jewels in Equestria!
Because I want to see the optimism die in your eyes when you realize the Grand Galloping Gala is actually sort of shit.
That sounds like the worst night ever.
It was!
I mean, wasn't that the whole point of Best Night Ever? That overhyping things is bad?
It ain't like it's a life-changing experience or nothing.
Well, at least Applejack learned something from it. They are really pushing her hard this season. It's like they need more people to think Applejack is best pony, so give her all of the really good lines. But what the fuck is this card game they're playing? Who? Ha? What? Okay, I just move on. Wait, hold on, are we just gonna brush over the fact that it's totally not winter anymore? You'd think with the really big deal they made about Tank's hibernation, they would at least... Conta-fucking-nuity. And on a blocking note, would it have been impossible to arrange this scene so that the dressing room was on the other side of Rainbow Dash? You know, so she wouldn't have to fly over here for no reason to facilitate this gag? I mean, if you just put Applejack on the other side of the card table, it would have worked out just fine. Yes, I'm complaining about the blocking, shut up. For instance, would it have killed them to maybe show this from a different angle? Like, maybe Discord's perspective? You could have him look into the camera like, what, she thinks she can break the fourth wall with me in a scene? It could have been funny. Instead of just... not. So, I have to ask, is this episode based on the assumption that Discord has forgotten that Fluttershy has 5 other friends? He even goes to them to see if he can mooch off of their +1s. I mean, except Twilight. And she doesn't seem to have taken Spike. Seems to me like she would be a pretty prime candidate for giving up her +1 ticket, or simply giving him a ticket, since she's running the thing this time.
It's been very nice having you take over some of the planning responsibilities for this year's gala.
Or explaining to him that his ticket is in the mail and it'll show up eventually, because Discord had tickets.
It probably got lost in the mail.
Just like Fluttershy said.
I assumed you'd have your own tickets.
So why is he even salty? He is so salty that the rest of the episode is dying at the pass while you refire this Discord. So fuck off out of this kitchen. The red team is gonna finish service. I want 2 names for elimination. Fuck this episode. Everything that happened is just so frivolous.
Looks like I'll see you at the gala after all, Fluttershy.
We're all gonna have so much fun together at the Grand Galloping Gala.
Discord isn't even doing anything to promote chaos in this episode. He's trying to protect the status quo. What the fuck happened there? Oh, it's not like we need to write a story that makes any goddamn sense. It's a Discord episode. Everyone's gonna love it because we've got John Delancey. Isn't he great? So let's just take the easy way out and go down every point of conflict. Fluttershy has a friend and Discord disapproves. So I've already talked about this one. Fluttershy's always had friends other than Discord, and Discord has friends other than Fluttershy.
Discord, your friend Twilight says that she's your pal.
You're calling back to that same goddamn episode.
The Equestrian Society for the Preservation of Rare Creatures. The Equestrian Society for the Preservation of Rare Creatures.
I mean, I know I don't put any stock in this show's continuity, but this is ridiculous. Didn't he have some sort of epiphany about that last season?
It is a sign of our true friendship.
Wait, shouldn't I be happy that they're ignoring that episode? Immediately after Discord gets his tickets, the conflict should have been completely resolved. But it keeps going for some painful reason. This is just a theory, but I would say that somewhere in an early version of the script, Fluttershy and Treehugger were supposed to be a couple. But Discord was supposed to be in love with Fluttershy, so he tried to break them up, all love triangle style. And then somebody, possibly somebody wearing a suit, said, sorry, S&P won't let us have an interspecies couple and a gay couple in the same episode. So they changed all of the words to friend, and kept the rest of the episode as is without checking to make sure it wasn't fucking stupid. But it was. Because the rest of the episode comes straight out of a bad romantic comedy love triangle. Discord brings the smooze to make Fluttershy jealous. which would make sense in a love triangle, but his MO is to spend time with Fluttershy. It seems like bringing an unwanted fourth wheel around would just make things harder. So she either ignores or doesn't notice this. She looks a little surprised here, so I think not noticing is slightly more likely. But either way, why did it happen? And then,
The four of us should go out to dinner sometime.
why is any of this happening?
Have you no heart?
What is the train of thought leading to these actions? Next up, Discord tries to impress Fluttershy by taking something she says way too seriously. Or maybe he flips out over this physical contact, which again would make sense in a romantic context, but what's a little touching between friends? I mean, do I have to bring up this episode that never actually happened again? So watching this scene, I was reminded of the scene from Equestria Games. Mostly about how good that scene was. Spike goes in with lots of confidence and immediately loses all that confidence once he finds out that he has to sing a song he doesn't know in front of 40,000 ponies. On the other hand, Discord does some stand-up and some ponies watch him for some reason, even though...
This is not that kind of party.
And yeah, I know, continuity, right? But there's a massive problem with this scene. And no, that problem isn't that the scene goes on for way too long without being funny. That's probably what they were going for. While at the same time forgetting that empathy is a big part of why the audience has the ability to connect with a scene. In Equestria Games, Spike was relatably trying to get his groove back by making a grand gesture. So when he's making an entire audience cringe, we, or at least we should, feel sorry for him. While the scale of the shots and the audience reactions and the actual lyrical content of the song made the scene funny, and Pinkie Pie's reaction at the end was like the straw that broke the layer of cringe holding back all the hilarity. That was one expertly written and directed scene. In this episode, Discord is being a tit the entire episode, so there's no empathy for him. And Maud heckling is just sad and runs counter to everything that made her so likable in her titular episode. Oh right, the massive problem in this scene is that Fluttershy isn't in this crowd. So who fucked up? Was it you? It's sad when you can clearly tell why a scene exists even though it doesn't connect to the overall plot. It would make sense for this scene to exist because Discord wants Fluttershy to think he's funny. But if that was the case, wouldn't he just stop debasing himself as soon as he notices that Fluttershy isn't in the audience? This scene only exists to fill time between this and this. Because the
I've never known any pony as funny as you.
plot point never came up again. Because... If Celestia invited Discord with the express purpose of fucking up the gala, why does she seem so out of sorts here? So Discord decides to straight up banish Treehugger to another dimension. What the hell am I watching? My petty squabbles friendship is bullshit? I'm gonna banish your friend. Not the other ones. Just this friend in particular. Because I don't know why. But he's doing this right in front of Fluttershy. What does he expect to come from this? This episode is a prime candidate for the worst one in the series. I'm not sure if I'll ever quite get over how morally repugnant One Bad Apple was, but this one blows Rainbow Falls and Twilight's Kingdom out of the water just as far as being a shittily written episode goes. I mean, Maud was in it, and that still didn't make it good.